Hello and welcome. I'm Bearded Busker, and I used to run out there somewhere, and I still try to make tutorials whenever possible. If you're watching this video, you're probably hoping to learn how to get into the sub 8 territory with some intermediate strats. You've probably watched some runs and seen some things that look almost like cheating, or like there's some secret control in the game you're missing, or a double jump, and it's not any of that. It's understanding a few of the very simple ways that this game processes Yuri immediately before and after he teleshots. I tried to find a room in the game that had a lot of walls so that I could show off a lot of this. Most of the tricks in the run come down to abusing Yuri's rising Y velocity immediately after a teleshot. So through the game, it wants you to set up shots like this. You jump, you fire on your way down so that you can jump, and that lets you climb taller walls. So you can get into secret rooms like this. But it turns out that Yuri's Y velocity is pretty much locked for a couple frames immediately after he teleshots. And so if you're close enough to a wall, or if you jump soon enough before a teleshot hits, you actually get his full jump height from that shot. And so if you jump really close to a wall, you can just climb higher than you normally would. You notice that my max jump height is 2 tiles. With this technique, it's 3 tiles. And so I've just circumvented, well, I've saved a little time there, but in certain places you can actually just circumvent whole obstacles that the developers thought you would have to climb. For that to work, Yuri's got to be at least a tile away from whatever wall he's firing at. It's a little different for light beams, but we'll get to that. So you notice right now I'm a tile away this shot should take, and it did. Now I'm standing on what I think is the border of 2 tiles, so I'm less than a tile away. And nothing. I can fire till the cows come home, nothing. And so refining your muscle memory and your technique is going to be about anytime you see a room cleared the quote-unquote fast way, getting as close to a tile away as you can, jump, and then firing. And that whole while, it's only going to work if Yuri's a tile away before the shot hits. So this is a good room to demonstrate this, and in fact, I can also show the other big concept that's going to be important for a lot of rooms, and that's circle jumps. There's sometimes when Yuri is standing on a narrow ledge, and then there's sometimes when you're just teleporting from far away in the room where you're going to end up right next to a wall, and so you have to get a tile away, double back, and be jumping on your way up. So check this out. It's easier shown than explained. Like that. So what I've just done is I've doubled back left, the purpose of which is to get a tile away, and then I turn around, and then I get that boosted jump. When I failed there, it was because I didn't get a tile away. Now I've got all the floor under me here, so this is actually a pretty easy place to train and fail, but a lot of the rooms and places where we do this, Yuri's actually walking off a ledge, and you're jumping off the very corner of that ledge. So this is an important trick to get pretty exactly right. What's important to note is that this game, when you press both directions at once, I've got 0x velocity, but I'm still facing the old direction. So you might get frustrated pretty early on doing these circle jumps if you're the type of person who just kind of lays into the keys, like, watch, I'm going to fail to let go of left this time. I fired left and got this dialog box because I didn't turn around, so I've got to let go. Otherwise that happens. Then the other thing is when you turn around, you only want to tap the button, because otherwise you come too far right, and lo and behold, you're less than a tile away. So I'm jumping away, just tapping right to get that boosted jump. Second thing, you want to hold jump the whole while, because otherwise if I don't, I'm not getting that boosted velocity. It's not treating me as in a fresh jump. It's just, oh hey, yeah, you were high, but now your jump is done. And like there, I'm getting a little bit because it's a short, that's the shortest jump you're capable of. I'm trying to think of what else to say about these 2 mechanics. I might just need to show them off in some other rooms. And in fact, I know just the room to do it. When you see anything crazy advanced that makes you go, what? Like if you watch Guya's run from back in the day, gosh, I can't remember. It might have been his 619, and then I think his 656 has this in it. You can compound these jumps. What's making this work is that, again, his Y velocity is locked in place, and so even though I've already started my jump by the time that teleshot hits, when it hits there, I'm getting his full normal 2 tiles of jump that he's granted. You get 2 tiles here, and watch, I'm getting 2 tiles here. there's no reason I can't turn right around and as long as I'm holding jump, get that same benefit again. Notice I still got 2 tiles. So when you're in a narrow corridor like this, there's no reason you can't hold jump and with good rhythm climb the corridor. I failed it there, but let me try it a couple times. It's been a while. Okay, there we go. So you see I actually got what we call these chain jump shots, and it's the exact same thing I showed you in the other room. It's just a boosted jump, but you're maintaining that relationship of Yuri being just over a tile away, meaning that he's still got the freshest of his rising velocity as he climbs, and you're able to essentially stay at max jump height, and you're getting fresh jumps over and over again. But I'm holding jump the whole while. It's not fresh jump inputs. That's a misunderstanding that a lot of casual players have. And this is probably the most advanced looking trick, but in this particular part of the run, this only saves 2 seconds. When I was grinding for sub 8, I got so mad in this room, and it was just 2 seconds. If I had just cleaned up my play elsewhere, you know, I probably would have gotten sub 8 a lot sooner than I did. This was, gosh, April 2016, I think that was going on. Oh, see, now I can't do the trick. I gotta go back and analyze my own play and figure out what I'm doing wrong. I actually might be tapping the directions too daintily. I think you need to come in closer to the walls on this one. So when this one's done all right, you see I can just climb the room effortlessly like that. Trying to think of some other applications in the early game. Let me just run this portion like I'm doing a run. So here I would climb. The next room's going to have an application of a boosted jump. So I climb up here. Now the game wants you to go through the jail cell, right? You line up a shot, you get it through here, you land, and then you jump. But here we have a chance to do a boost jump from right here. I'm fresh enough into my jump because I'm just over a tile away that I can just climb it like that. So I'm holding jump, and in that bottom tile of the box, I'm just firing a shot, and I don't let go of jump, and I get 2 full tiles because of game physics. This is, in fact, let's time this out now. From here, 8, 9, 40. So even with good speed tech, doing it the way that I want, this room is supposed to take around 7 seconds to clear, right? I played that far from perfectly, but forgive me here. Let's try this now with the speed tech. 8, 1, 3 seconds. So that's a 3-second save. Let's up the ante. 9, 10. Circle jump. 1, 2. 2 seconds. So you see, just applying any place you can find where you can fire a shot from just over a tile away in a jump, it's going to really speed up how you're able to climb. I just realized that this one isn't actually possible from in the game because you're coming from the other side of the jail cell, so you have to do this. But still, it's the thought that counts. Alright, let's proceed. Back in the day, before we had our advanced out-of-bounds skips, this room was really one of the places that separated the men from the boys. Guya did chain jumps up through this channel. He did like this. Okay, here, let me see if I can even... I'm not even going to come close. So if you want to have your mind blown... Oh, doggone it. He actually chain jumps through the narrow portion of this. He hits this green one, he hits this block, and then he hits the brown portion on the left side of the channel. And he climbs this room using chain jumps like I showed you in that other room. I'm not going to do the out of bounds yet. But I just want to show a few other rooms where this boosted jump is useful. Another spot is up here going through the junkyard. As you turn around here, you can get a boosted jump. And in fact, you can fire at the bridge and it just warps you to the top of the tile. If you're feeling really cheeky, you can actually do one on the turnaround here. Ah, doggone it. Okay, let's just get through. Same concept here. The game wants you to climb up to here to line up your shot. Don't bother. Just like that. Saves a little time, looks a little risky, but we're fine. There's one little trick shot that I don't know if I've explained in my beginner tutorial or not, so just in case I didn't explain it. Excuse me, I got a cough. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't just dox myself leaning away. That trick. Right before this shot hits, turn around, fire this one, and then you never have to land. It's a cool little time saver. It's not even the fastest way to get the gun anymore. That goes to Mindworks, who found that you can actually, you can be here, and then the second the shot drops, you can leave the room. That man is a fiend. Let me see how much of me is visible on here, because I'm actually a little nervous about that. No, I think we were good. We were good. Alright, I'm going to continue, because double jumping, which is a room that's coming up, is probably the most obvious application of this stuff, at least in the early intermediate stages. So I line up my shot, I turn around, I circle jump. You notice that I got enough to hit that brown ledge. That's a time saver over having to do it this way, right? The game wants you to get over here. Well, first of all, you got these enemies to contend with, which is bad enough. But the game wants you to get over here, turn around, line up your shot, jump, land, jump, land. So if you can do this room optimally, which I didn't even do on the last go, you get high enough on that brown ledge that you can actually fire over the top ledge. I never had to land on my way up. And that all comes down to just being very precise in getting Yuri his absolute maximum jump height. Alright, green beams are a whole other factor, and there's one other intermediate trick I want to teach. And this used to be our granddaddy, and we used to not understand it as well, so we thought this was just the hardest thing in the world. This is the green beam jump. Because of the properties that involve locking Yuri's ground state, you can actually, the game treats Yuri as though he's on the ground for a couple frames when he hits the top of this beam. Since you're on the ground, you can jump, right? And if you can jump, you can turn around and collapse that block. It is no longer considered a good time save in this room, but this used to be like the swaggiest of swag ways to save about 2.5 seconds versus playing the game normally. And it used to feel so satisfying to get this first try and runs. But you see, it's even when you understand the trick, it's kind of low yield. In any percent in-game time, you have to get it within the first 4 tries to save any time. And in all collectibles, when you have the upgraded Gauss gun with a faster fire rate, you have to get it first or second try to save time. So what we do now is a slight application of just, you just know the very edge of the tile. You hit this upper corner, and it turns out you have just enough height that you can set this up. Like there, I fell short. This one's finicky, though. You've got to really get a feel for this one before you do it regularly. This was actually invented by Dark Saint Diablo, who is primarily a polarity runner and fan game player, but in the summer of 2016, he ran briefly, mostly to humor me, and he ended up inventing a strat that's still used by most of the top runners in this room. If you're feeling like a human Taz, you can use circle jumps up this side. One day. I have yet to see this executed in a run, but the idea is if you're quick enough, you can get a second boosted jump off of that marble ledge, which would be enough to let you climb it. Alright, so I think that that's enough about boosted jumps. Now I want to show off double jumps, or not double jumps, but air jumps. It's the same idea, but it's a little bit more sensitive timing-wise, and it requires just a little bit of fourth dimensional planning. Okay, let me get there. There's one room that if you watch top runs, you know where I'm heading right now. Actually, I just did the thing that I'm about to teach. I should have just used that room. Since it locks his Y velocity in mid-jump, and it also locks his ground state if he was standing on the ground before a shot hit, since Yuri's standing right now, when this shot hits that I'm about to fire, the game's going to treat him as on the ground for a couple frames, just like it did for those green beam jumps. So I actually jumped after that shot hit. Again, the game does not have a double jump mechanic, but for 8 frames after you respawn, you can jump if you were standing on the ground before the shot. Now I'm going to show you one where it seems like I should be able to jump, but it's not going to work. And that's because I was falling when the shot hit. I ran off that ledge. But over here, I'm able to jump off the ground if I stay on this ledge up here. And if I combine that with a circle jump, oops, didn't get the first jump to begin with. I swear I can do this. If I combine this with a circle jump and I get the boost, I'm on top of the game world. I have a separate tutorial for how to execute this trick. That should be enough to chew on for now. Now if you go and watch my actual intermediate tutorial run, you'll see me applying some of these tricks with boosted momentum, and it's just a matter of learning when and how to do it. Thank you for watching. Whoops, I didn't exit right. Alright, thank you for watching.